right, so let's move into AEW here, Ryan.
AEW, all right. Things might get crazy now.
Oh man. So as you know, AEW, there's a lot you can get into because there's over 100 people on this roster. Now, technically, there's over 100 people on WWE's roster too, but it's split between three
It
shows.
feels not as big because they're three unique, separate brands.
Yeah.
When you have 100 people on one brand, it just feels crowded and convoluted, and it feels like a mess. And fair warning to anybody out there, we may piss you off with some of the stuff I say about AEW if you're like one of those, hardcore AEW fans. Just fair warning.
Well, but trust me, I'm not as hard as you are. All right, so let's get into AEW here, Ryan. So how do you feel about the way they've they had that hot pay-per-view,
By all accounts, it was great.
Yeah, and after Sting's retirement match pay-per-view they had, Revolution, it's been they've been on a little bit of a turn here, Ryan, because they've had the women on a little bit more. They've they've had more stories going on than what they had before. So it's a little different, and it's not great. It's not perfect, but it's a little different. They're never going to be WWE. They don't want to be WWE. So their storytelling is always going to be different than how WWE tells their stories.
Yeah.
But I feel like the stories are actually, you can watch a show, a couple of these stories, you can watch a show, and in the next show, those guys are still there. Because before, what would happen is you'd watch a show, and then the two people that were feuding would not see each other again for like a month. And it didn't feel like a wrestling show.
Yeah, it felt like a rotating cast of characters. It was like a TV series that just had a rotating cast, and they'd come in for a little bit, do their spot, and then leave. And it also something that used to happen that's not happening as much now is like two people would feud for a title, the one person would lose, that'd be it. They wouldn't interact again. And now it's turned tide with Deonna Purrazzo still interacting with Toni Storm, still, even though she's lost like twice to her, they're still kind of continuing that little tension between them in the feud, which is nice. It's a welcome thing, because for a long time, it was, hey, they lost. Okay, well, bye. You're not going to be on TV now for 3 months. So, look, I hate on AEW. A lot of things they do, I do not like, but they are, they're turning it around, and in some ways they're still doing the same old things. I'm just not a big fan of the style of wrestling that they do. A lot of the people,
but they got to be different, right? You can't have AEW on both companies.
I know, I completely get that, and that's why wrestling is so great. There's something for everybody. No matter what you're into, there's a wrestling out there for you. I am a huge fan of some of the people in AEW, so I want to watch and I want to support the guys that I like and the girls that I like, but there's some people in AEW I don't particularly care for. But I mean, it's getting better. I still do think Tony Khan needs, and apparently we don't know what goes on behind the scenes in AEW. They're very private about that kind of stuff. We don't know if he really does have a booking committee, if he really is doing it by himself. We're not 100% sure on that.
I'm pretty sure he's doing it by himself.
But if he's doing it by himself, he's got some great legends and some great minds in that company that he needs to turn to and be like, look, let's format this in a way that makes sense. And apparently,
a little behind the scenes for you. So you have some people that have quit, AEW, and have let out a little bit of what happens behind the scenes. And it paints a little bit of a picture as to why this show sometimes is the way it is. Like one Tully Blanchard. Okay, he came out and he said what he thought. And in his point of view, the wrestlers don't want to learn. Yeah, like you said, you have all these minds back there. But these wrestlers that haven't been on American TV, a lot of them, They don't want to learn. They don't want to know how to be on American TV. They think they can do. They know what's right, and they're going to do it their
Yeah.
way.
Yep.
So it's also not only Tony Khan's. It is Tony Khan's fault because he is the boss.
Mm-hmm.
And if he wants these legends to help these guys and help them put out a really good wrestling product, and they know how to do that, then they should listen. So Tony Khan is at fault there because he should be able to just put his foot down. And it's pretty clear that he's not that kind of boss.
No, he's
But
like Eric Bischoff.
yeah, but it's also the wrestlers,
Yeah.
that are at fault because yeah, they just like to go out there and do their thing and not it's not always the right thing.
I mean, this goes all the way back to the beginning when JR was calling them out.
Yeah.
And they would go on Twitter and just say, I'm going to go jump into a crowd of people. This has been happening since the beginning of AEW, so it's never going to change.
Right.
That's the style. It's an indie show on TV. And that's fine. There's a market for that. An 800,000 people market. But there's a market for that. But again, what's the point if you're gonna have a Tully Blanchard, a Jerry Lynn, Ric Flair, Sting, Daniel Bryan, Edge? Like, you're gonna have these guys here. Why do you have them if you're not gonna use them for their knowledge? But what's the point of bringing them in? Like, like an Arn Anderson. Like, why would you have these guys on the roster and you're paying them all this money if you're not gonna have them do what they're good at?
Exactly. Yeah, it's kind of messed up, but let's just fingers crossed that maybe something will happen that'll change that. Let's talk about the newcomers, Ryan. We've had 3 newcomers come into AEW.
Yeah.
How do you feel? How do you feel about the build of these 3?
Well,
how do you feel? Their past 2 weeks. How have all 3 of them shown off?
So Ospreay has come off as one of the biggest stars in wrestling. Should be skyrocketed to the main event immediately. He is getting quite possibly the biggest pops of the night when he comes out. So he should be the face of this company. So no, I mean, yeah, he's huge and he's over and he's working, so that's great. Okada came in, won the Continental Championship right away, so he's a heel, which is good. I think he works better as a heel anyway. I think his whole gimmick and his whole style is way better as a heel than a face, so that's working. And then you got Mercedes. No hate on Mercedes. I was a fan of hers. She hasn't done anything. So I can't judge.
Yeah, okay. So
her promo that she cut, her first promo was a very WWE style promo, and you could tell it was wrote out word for word.
Well, I don't know if it was wrote out, but I'll tell you this. That was the most boring and uninspired promo I've ever heard.
Yeah.
I mean, it was literally just paint by numbers.
Yeah.
It was boring.
Yeah.
And she said nothing.
She said nothing of substance. She didn't.
She didn't set up any feuds. She mentioned Willow's name one time.
Yep.
She didn't set up any feuds. She didn't act like she was going after a certain title. She just was like, "Hey, we're gonna make some memories, some very generic memories," and then the next week, she comes out and she helps Willow in her match. Okay, the street fight they were having, and she comes out and to make the save, right? And she does 2 moves.
Yep.
One she doesn't even hit. I don't even know if she can still wrestle at this point. Because she come back from ankle surgery. We don't even know what she can do, if she's really 100%. Like, this could be a flop.
It could be. And she's already rubbed people the wrong way when she went on a podcast the week before her AEW debut and came out on that podcast and said, I'm going to go back to WWE one day.
Yeah.
She's already rubbed the fans and probably a lot of the wrestlers the wrong way by saying that. So, yeah, I don't know if this is going to work.
I don't know if it's the wrestlers, it's a tricky thing because the tribalism.
It's more of a fan thing. You're right. That's more.
Yeah, with the fans because
The
you're
wrestlers
a
like each
WWE,
other. They're rooting for each other. So yeah.
you're a WWE guy. Ain't no lying. So you're a WWE guy, but there's AEW guys, and it's just anything one company does, is going to be wrong just because you don't like them, and that's one thing. But the wrestlers, I don't really feel like they're like that. But to do that though, like what she did, and because she's going to be the one thing about the wrestlers is she's going to be getting a push.
Yeah.
So some of these other chicks could be a little upset that she might not be all the way in, and
Yeah.
she's still going to be pushed. Whereas some of these other girls are all the way in and are scratching their way to get on TV.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at it from a standpoint of that's their job, that's their livelihood. And if you say at your jobs or any industry, whatever, someone's just using your job that you're currently in as a stepping stone to something else, that's going to make you a little bitter, I would say.
Yeah.
Where it's like you're just coming here to make a little bit to make your money, to get your name back out there, and then you're going to leave us. So I don't think she should have came out and said that. I know it was probably, and it may have been taken out of context. I don't know. I didn't watch the whole interview. So I don't know what the question was asked, but she did say I have unfinished business in WWE and I will be back there. It's hard to say that that was taken out of context. So, but yeah, of the three, this isn't hate on Mercedes because I was a fan of hers in WWE, and I hope she can still go, and I hope she can still perform in the ring. But yeah, it's just she hasn't done anything yet until she gets in the ring and wrestles and does something of substance. Can't really say it's been good.
Yeah.
But 2 promos and none of them were much of anything.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean,
Riley, here's one thing that's going on in AEW right now that I'm a little disappointed in. Is this tag team division. Because we're supposedly having a tournament at some point.
We keep having these like preview matches or something.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on.
And I don't know what's going on either, but in the last 5 episodes of AEW television, there's only been 3 tag team matches with actual tag teams. So I don't know what's going on with the tag team division, but yeah, they got to step this up because it's lacking. It's lacking hard.
Yeah, you're just they got this tag team tournament, whatever, that's starting at some point and ending at some point. You've got wild card matches for whatever reason.
Yeah, they did finally have some matches. Okay, they had one match with the House of Black and the infantry. Okay, this match, Ryan, was bizarre because they beat the holy hell out of the infantry the whole match, like it was a squash. And then you have freaking Ring of Honor Mark Briscoe come out, throw a chair in front of the referee, throw a chair into Buddy Matthews' face, and he gets pinned by the infantry. And that's how they move on.
So wait, the infantry won?
Yeah.
And okay, and I didn't see this. Was this Malachi Black or was this Matthews and it was Matthews and the other big fucker?
Brody King, yeah.
Was Malachi Black there?
No.
Interesting.
Yeah. Okay. So, but it was, I was like, what in the hell?
Way to push this team.
Yeah, they did not look good in winning. Let me tell you, because they just got their ass kicked that whole match, and then they just squeaked out a win. So I'm pretty sure FTR is going to kick their ass in their next match. I mean,
yeah, that sounds like a fair point.
it was a weird one, and that's one of the few tag team matches that we've had on TV.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going on with this tag team division.
Well,
I
it's better
don't
than
know.
what's.
Okay, so we talked about WWE over 100 wrestlers, 3 different brands. There are 2 brands in AEW. There is Ring of Honor.
Well,
I don't know how much I like the fact that a lot of Ring of Honor people are on AEW all the time. A lot of the Ring of Honor champions are AEW wrestlers,
yeah. Weren't they
and
supposed to like keep them separated?
I mean, they're definitely not separate. I mean, it's
Except for like John
I,
Morrison, who never gets to be on AEW now.
yeah, but it's really weird, and I don't like it because it's like we got way too many titles in AEW as it is,
Yeah.
and now you're calling all these Ring of Honor titles. It's like
Yeah, it's out of
the
hand.
six. I mean, you look at you got the 6-man titles on AEW television from Ring of Honor.
Mm-hmm.
You got the Ring of Honor champion,
Mm-hmm.
Eddie King. You got the Ring of Honor television champion in uh that guy that's in the Don Callis family. Not Takeshita, but the Australian guy.
Yeah, yeah, whatever his name is.
Yeah. And he's the Ring of Honor TV champion. You got the Ring of Honor tag champions in the Kingdom.
Yeah, they're on TV like every week.
Yep. I mean, that's almost all your champions. The only ones that's not is like the pure champion
And the women's
and the women's champion. That's it. And the women's TV champion that they just crowned.
Well, we also
But
got New Japan champions on because Willow's on TV every week, and she's the New Japan's women's strong champion.
yeah, and so is Eddie Kingston. He's the New Japan Strong champion also.
Yeah.
And so there's too many belts on TV, and it makes it feel like everybody's got a belt and they're not that special. And I don't
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, it's
I do like, don't get me wrong, I was a fan in the Attitude Era. I like having mid card titles because
yeah.
you had the European title, you had the hardcore title, you had the light heavyweight title. And I like that shit because it gives more people stuff to do.
Yeah.
But when you also have another company's belts in there, 2 companies, really, it's just too many.
Yeah.
And I just don't like that. I do like something I do like is they're making Bullet Club Gold, which I wish they'd just get away with the Bullet Club stuff. But
Yeah, they should just change the name completely.
yeah, but I like that Jay White's being more of a badass.
Finally.
He cut a really good. It was a weird promo. It was stylized. They were at a pool. It was really weird, but he cut a good promo on Darby Allin and on Billy Gunn, and he turned on him, and it was vicious, and I liked it. I hope the Gun Club stop being too silly and start taking more after what he did there, and they can be more serious, all 3 of them. I don't know when Juice Robinson's coming back. Really don't care if he does come back. Honestly, I don't really like that guy.
His facial expressions were always annoyed the fuck out of me.
Well, not just that, but he's just way over the top, and
yeah,
and the lucky bastards dating Toni Storm. Anyway, so let's get into that is one thing I like. Toni Storm, I like.
We finally have like a real character in AEW that feels natural, which is weird because it's the dumbest character on earth. But she's playing it off so well that it's working and it's great. So yeah, props to Toni Storm for whoever came up with this air gimmick they're doing, because it's amazing. And when they do like the split screen between black and white and color, it's fantastic. It's the little things, and it's great. That's
now,
perfect.
The question is, you usually don't like that kind of stuff because you usually hate that indie stuff. So
Like some things.
Question is, you got a lot of chicks coming up. You got Serena Deeb, who's just come back. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You got Mercedes Moné. I feel like she looks like she's gonna maybe go after the TBS champion instead. But you got Perazo still fighting.
Thunder Rosa.
Yeah. Thunder Rosa, yeah. Who do you think is going to be the one to finally take this opportunity? Do you think it'll be her own partner? Mariah May has been on a major win streak.
She looks great. I don't know if it's going to be anyone that you just mentioned, honestly. I think who's going to take it off of her is the girl who was champion before her, who's currently injured, that's out for a while. But I think Jamie Hayter is going to come back and take it from her.
Okay.
She's been out for a while. She's been out. She got injured. Whenever she got injured like in that 4-way, right, or whatever.
Yeah.
At some point, she's been out for a long time, I would assume, or could be Britt Baker. She's been gone for God knows how long. I could see
not
her.
Not even injured. I don't know why she's been out.
Yeah, but that's the thing. That's two names. We got Jamie Hayter going to be coming back sometime. We got Britt Baker who's going to be coming back, I hope, at some point. So the women's division is deep in AEW. It's strong, and then you've got other names like Ruby and Soraya. But you've got some strong talent in the women's division. I just hope they keep going and they get the time that they need, and they're finally getting the recognition that they need in that company.
Right. I got a question for you. It just came into my. I'm getting a lot of light bulbs going off while we're doing this podcast. I got a question for you, Ryan. Ember Moon, who is what's her name in the AEW? Athena,
yeah.
All right. So she was women's champion for a long time in Ring of Honor, has been. And like we were saying, all these other Ring of Honor champions have been on the show. Does she just like rub people the wrong way? Or because it was like this at WWE too, where she was in NXT and a lot of these, like she went back down to NXT and never came back up, and put her in Ring of Honor, and she's never been back on AEW television.
Yeah, I don't know, and I don't know if that's her decision or if it's a Tony Khan decision. It's so weird too because she's better than, like, she's fantastic.
Yeah.
So I don't know why they won't use her. She's stuck on a television show that's not on TV that I don't even know how many people are watching because it's behind a paywall. So I don't know how many people are watching her, and it's a shame because apparently her and Billy Starks had like really good matches and a really good story.
Yeah.
But no one saw it.
Exactly.
So yeah, for real, she should be the one to beat Toni Storm, honestly.
Yeah, there you go.
But it won't happen.
So the same story that we got here with Toni Storm and the women's title, we kind of got for the men's title too, Ron. We got a lot of people that could be going for this belt. Now they've kind of taken Okada out of the situation, unless he tries to become a double champion. But because looks like he's gonna be focused on this Continental belt for some freaking reason. So he's kind of not in the they kind of got away from him. But you got Jay White who could come back up because he's like I said, he's doing great stuff right now.
Mm-hmm.
Adam Cole, whenever he's not injured, which we're going to talk about Adam Cole in a minute, because he cut a promo and I don't know what the hell's going on. So you got Adam Cole, you got Swerve, you got Hangman, you got
Ospreay.
I mean, MJF if he comes back.
Yeah,
where do you go, man? Are we gonna finally not have this era of and I kind of want this in WWE too. I'm kind of tired of these over 1 year title reigns. I'm ready to start hot potatoing this son bitch a little bit because you got a lot of people that deserve a title, deserve to have a championship, and it feels like they're never going to get it because they just keep lingering with the same champions all year.
And ain't it so crazy how we do that in wrestling? Because like for the longest time, we were like, God, I want long title reigns.
I want 3 to 4 month title reigns. I don't need 1 year, and I don't want 2 weeks. I want like 3 months, 2 months.
Yeah.
Give me,
I'm all with you there.
I mean, I like back in the Attitude Era, man. All those guys had so many title reigns, and the reason they had so many title reigns is because we changed the belt around,
Yeah, and I'm with you because I'm getting kind of tired of like even with WWE with Seth and Roman, and now you got Samoa Joe in this kind of long run.
Well, he hasn't had time, so I'm okay with Joe for right now. But yeah, he needs a little.
I think it should be Swerve right now. That to beat Samoa Joe, but I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't know, but honestly, Ospreay should too. But I think it might be too early. Maybe you put on Swerve, then you have Ospreay beat Swerve is what I would do.
Well, here's the thing. You say it's too early, but Ospreay is clearly the number one face in the company already.
Yeah, we've said that. Yeah, he's getting the loudest reactions of anybody there. So, I mean,
think in like some of these times, sometimes in wrestling on both shows, they wait too long.
Yeah,
to pull the trigger.
I mean,
I think you got to pull this trigger.
I mean,
all right, Ryan. Let's finish with AEW here with a little bit of rumors and speculation, a little bit of news. Let's go with Tony Khan had an interview. Ryan, he talked about a lot of things. Oh wait! Before we do that, Adam Cole. Let me go back to Adam Cole.
Adam Cole, baby.
He cut a promo on Wardlow. Now, Ryan, I don't know if Wardlow just rubs people like was he that much of a friend of Cody Rhodes that they're never going to give him anything? Like, I don't know what the fuck, because you have him cut all these promos saying he's going to, go after the world, which he went after the world championship. But then the Kingdom didn't even come out with him.
Nope.
Okay, which is fucking weird. They're a heel faction.
And they want the gold.
They want the gold.
So why would
and then Adam Cole cuts this promo on him saying how disappointed he is in him and how he let him down, and it's like, way to cut the guy off at the knees, man. And then he said that he's gonna make sure that Wardlow has to help them keep the belts that they have. And if he doesn't, I'm like,
so this group is what, 3 months old?
Yeah.
And we're already teasing tension between them?
Yeah, it's not good.
Great. That group's off to a rocking start.
Not good at all. But anyway, okay, so Tony Khan, I don't remember what fucking website. It was some weird random website. How do these random websites get into?
I know Tony Khan, I think, does interviews with anybody, man. It's crazy.
But he had an interview, and he talked about Jack Perry, and how he says he's all fine with him. He's impressed with his New Japan shit. So I don't know. I'm pretty sure that's all storyline. Jack Perry still playing it up, which he should.
Jack Perry talked to Brian Alvarez and completely disputed what Tony Khan said, and said that basically that he asked to be released from AEW after everything that went on with Punk and the suspension, and AEW basically denied him, and that he was supposed to come back in December, and then Punk, for some reason, why this would matter, but CM Punk showing up at Survivor Series derailed that, and it did not happen. Now, why would that have any effect on whether Jack Perry came back in AEW? I have no idea. But that's what he said.
Yeah, that makes zero.
I don't know why, if they maybe just didn't want to do it because they thought they'd be copycatting, maybe. Like, oh, Punk's back, now we're going to bring Perry back, but I don't know. That part of it made no sense to me, but that is what Jack Perry's saying. I honestly believe Jack Perry is just healing it up and being this new character that he's got. So I assume he's still under contract with AEW and that there's no issues.
Right. So let's talk about Ryan. Something else he said. One of the big things that came out of that interview was he's talked about their main focus is eventually to have AEW on a streaming service. So eventually they do. Will it be on Max, HBO Max? Will it be somewhere else? I don't know. But how do you feel about that, Ryan? Is this what we're trending towards? Is everything going to be on streaming services?
Now, does he want like the newer shows on, or is he just talking like the backlog?
No, he was talking about pay-per-views and everything.
Pay-per-views make sense. Pay-per-views make sense from a consumer standpoint. Because look, people are more willing to watch your shit if they don't have to pay $50 for it. That's just, especially in today's economy with stuff the way it is. But again, on the contrary of that, UFC does banger numbers and they're charging $70. So, and you have to have a subscription on top of that. So, but yeah, I can understand them wanting to move to a streaming service just to get their name out more. I mean, yeah, they are, they've got people with their names out there, but some people aren't going to tune in on. Some people don't have cable. Some people aren't going to watch TBS and TNT. If they get it on Max or any other streaming service out there, more people might tune in and check them out because it's like, oh, what's this new wrestling thing I haven't heard about? And then they can watch all their pay-per-views and watch all the backlogs. So it makes 100% sense. I don't know if I'm necessarily in favor of it. I mean, we got Raw going to Netflix. I don't know if I'm necessarily on board with everything being streaming, but I mean, that seems to be the way we're going with everything now, not just wrestling. So might as well try to get on. But I'm just so surprised that they've been on Warner for this long and they're still not on Max. Like, why are they not?
I figured their backlog would be on there by now.
Yeah, like I figured they'd have something, or at least the pay-per-views would be offered or something. Like, why are they not? Is it AEW not, or is it just Max not? I don't understand what the holdup is here.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
And why? Because they seem to be in good business. Like Warner talks them up all the time, and they got renewed or whatever. So it's certainly not that Max doesn't like AEW. I mean,
yeah, I think you're right though. I think with Raw going to Netflix is going to be the first big domino, and then
yeah.
Since they're going, I think that might entice Max to sign AEW to that kind of a deal.
If not Max, I mean, there are other streaming services out there. I mean,
yeah,
none of them on the level of a Netflix.
Yeah, Prime is pretty close.
Yeah, they could get. I mean, Prime's been making moves. That would be insane if they went to Prime, but you never know. I mean, they were apparently making offers for WWE, so they're wanting more live programming. They've already got the Thursday Night Football, so they're.
Yep.
I don't know. I think we're going to be in for in a couple years here. Wrestling's going to be in a weird state.
I agree.
It's all going to be on streaming services, and we're going to have about 15.